For today's Tech Tip Tuesday, I'm going to show you how you can create a to-do list or a checklist for you or your students using Google Sheets. Before I do that, Noelle and I want to let you know that we are currently in the process of collecting information from you so that we can revamp the staff directory page on the Somerville Middle School website. To make this process painless for you, we have put your name, your role at the middle school, and your email address on a slip of paper in your mailbox. If you have a school-related Twitter handle or a website that you have for students or parents, or anything else that you want parents or students to have access to, please include that on the sheet as well. Once everything is confirmed, please simply initial the sheet and just put it right back into one of our mailboxes. If you have any questions, please let us know. You can email us or give us a call. Once we have all the information we need, we'll be able to revamp the staff directory, and hopefully this will provide staff, parents, and students a better way to communicate with one another and get any information that they need in one place. So to create to-do lists or a checklist, there's a couple of things that you want to keep in mind. If you are going to create a to-do list or a checklist for a student because maybe they have missing work, then you are going to create this checklist specifically for that student and share that student on the checklist as well. You can also have parents join in on the checklist, or you can invite other teachers to partake in adding to the document if you so choose. For this specific example that I have up on my screen, this student had a lot of missing work, not only in my class, but in some of their other classes. And so I invited other teachers to add in information from their classes, and we organized it by subject area and created a tab for each one. So if this student wanted to work for my class, she would be in the animation and game design tab, and as she finished work, she would just simply click on the box to check it off. If they wanted to work on social studies, they can click on their social studies tab, and so on and so forth. If there's information that you want to stand out for your student, I would definitely pick a different color. And I am a fonts person. I am a little picky about my fonts. So as you can see here, I changed my fonts to Happy Monkey. It's my go-to for Google Docs and Google Slides and Google Sheets. You can find more fonts by clicking on the button More Fonts after you click on that drop down. And then there's different categories that you can choose from. If I wanted to add a new sheet, I can just click on this plus sign in the bottom left corner that says Add Sheet. If I want to change the name of the sheet, I can just double click down here over the text and type over it. And then if I want to create something that all of my students would benefit from, but I don't want them all using the same document to check things off on, then what I would do is I would click on Share. I would copy the link. You might have to adjust your settings here. And then when I go to paste my link, a very helpful tip to keep in mind if you want someone to make a copy of something, you can force them to do so by simply finding the word edit in the URL and changing the word edit to copy. So now whoever goes to use this link, they'll be forced to make a copy of it. So I had my students do that with this document, and I didn't have them share it with me because this was more for them than it was for me. I had them make a copy so that they could keep track of what they included in their design, and then I kind of made my rubrics based off of these checklists. So if I saw a student didn't have any sound, then They knew it was on the to-do list. They knew it was on the rubric. They lost points. They kind of knew why. And again, for to-do lists, you can do the same thing for like student checklist, where if you need to add a new tab, you can. And everything would just be in this one document. It could just be broken up by whatever you need it to be broken up into. For this particular document, my students were working in the program Scratch, and so they had a couple of different projects to work on. And so I took some time to put in everything they would need for each project. That way, they only had to make one copy of this, and everything was in that one copy. They didn't have maybe 10 different to-do lists to try to sort through. So it's really important that you keep in mind what your expectations are, how you want your checklist to work, and really what the purpose of it is. So to make a checklist, an easy way to open up Google Sheets is just by simply typing sheets.new. A new sheet will come up. Any important information, like I said before, you might want to change the color, you might want to change the font, make something bold. And then you can name the columns if you want to. So you can say your project must have, and I can see that it's starting to overlap my second column. So if I highlight all this text, I can click on text wrapping, the drop down, and then this one where the arrow is curved, and that will keep everything in nice and neat in one column. I can change the width of the column if I want. And then I can say my project must have 5 slides, maybe 1 video recording, maybe an intro, paragraph, body paragraphs, conclusion. And you would just make this list to fit the needs of your project. You can make everything centered if you want. Again, format this however works best for you or your students. And then to add in those checkboxes, all you have to do is click and drag over what cells in your sheet you want to have the checkboxes, and then go to Insert, Checkbox, and they appear. You can format these too. You can make them bigger. You can change the color of them. You can leave notes next to it. As you can see on this list, I added tutorials and the links for the tutorials off to the side. And I actually added the parent to this one so that they could keep track of the student's progress as well. Once you have someone make a copy of a document, whether it's a Google Doc, a Google Slide, Google Sheet, if you change the original, it won't change on their end because they made a copy of yours. So if you want to pre-plan, that might be a good idea before you have them make the copy. But what I might need to do as well as the school year goes on is keep adding to what I have in my one document, and then I'll just have it for next semester or next school year. You can do this for you or your students or even parents. This could be a beginning of the year checklist, something that you have to do for the end of the year. It can be used in so many different ways. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And don't forget about those extra tricks that we included in this video. I hope you enjoyed today's Tech Tip Tuesday, and I hope you have a great day.